So we've covered what dough is made of and how to proof dough. Now let's talk about how to tell when it's ready for use. This is the typical life cycle of Domino's dough, from unusable right off the truck to sheeted or expired dough. Dough right off the truck is unusable. It's very firm and hard to stretch. When run through the oven, it bubbles up and doesn't have a very bread-like structure. Sheeted or expired dough can have thin spots, which calls for a greasy and bland pizza. Underproof dough can still bubble up in the oven, so it's important to continue proofing. While overproof dough is still usable, but you should handle gently as it can tear or cause thin spots very easily. Properly proofed dough is key to having consistently great pizzas. Properly proofed dough has doubled in size, both up and out. It's soft and pliable to the touch. It's easy to stretch, and it maintains its round shape when you stretch it. When run through the oven, properly proofed dough has a consistent rise, a very bread-like structure, great flavor, and you can visibly see the air pockets in the dough. So as you can see, proofing dough is critical, and it greatly affects whether your customer will receive a great tasting product. Your store should have a visual reference guide for proofing dough, detailing the characteristics of each type. Use this guide when proofing dough. A mistake a lot of pizza makers make is using dough right out of the walk-in. When run through the oven, this might produce a product that actually looks good, but when you investigate a little further, you'll see exactly what the customer is getting. Cold dough causes a gel layer, visible here. This causes the pizza to underbake and have a very doughy and unpleasant flavor. Here you can see the pizza has not fully baked and does not have that consistent rise. This will not be a great tasting pizza. Domino's pizzas fall into two different categories. It's either a great pizza or it's a remake pizza. When determining whether a pizza is a great pizza or a remake, we grade it in 5 different categories, and dough affects 4 of these 5 categories. We grade the rim, looking for pencil-thin rims, and a width and height of 3/4 of an inch. The size of the pizza, a consistent center rise of a 1/2 inch, and whether or not the pizza itself is no bigger or smaller than 3/4 of an inch inside of the pizza box. The placement of toppings. You may be wondering how dough affects the placement of toppings. If underproof dough bubbles up, it can cause for toppings to not be evenly distributed. And finally, bake. Properly proofed dough bakes to a golden brown, and it reduces the chances for bubbles. It's up to you whether or not a customer will receive a great tasting Domino's pizza. And now we know the difference between bad dough and properly proofed dough, and how important it is to the process.
Created using Powtoon.